Good evening everybody, how are we all doing tonight? Welcome back for round 5 here at the Canadian GP. Missed a race which was the Dutch Grand Prix, and if it wasn't the Dutch Grand Prix, I think, yeah, it was the Dutch Grand Prix, so I missed that one. It was actually Belgium I missed. Dutch GP was before that, but welcome back to round 5, and we are here for the Canadian GP here at Gilles Villeneuve's. So, it is located in Montreal, Canada, and we're here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The race is 45 laps and we are here in Q1 as we see some of the drivers head out of the garage, and there is Mark out first in the AlphaTauri. He came out really early. He's on the soft compound tyres, is Mark, so let's see what he can do then on his first qualifying run. We've got a few others coming out. We've got Williams coming out of the garage, and as you can see on the left hand side, two drivers have opted to go for the medium compound tyres. We've seen a few drivers do this before where they go in the mediums in Q1, which I don't understand why, because it's usually used for Q2, but I expect people to go in the soft tyres in Q2 because it is a predicted pit stop strategy is soft, medium, or medium hard, so it's either a 2-stop or 1-stop. It depends on safety cars really, because with this safety car nerf glitch, it is often you'll get a safety car coming out or a virtual safety car coming out, so strategy can play into this as well. And hello everybody, welcome on the stream. It's just me for tonight, and how you all doing? Yeah, so soft, medium, or medium hard is the strategy for tonight's race. So here we go then. We're on board with Mark to start his first flying lap. I've not seen Mark in the practice sessions really, so let's see what he can do then. As we head down this turn, we'll use a lot of curve with the entry, slow it down for turn 2, kiss the apex, want to bring it out wide for this long right-hander, pick up the throttle, and here we go then. In the Sebastian Vettel chicane, use a lot of curve for both entries here. Get as close to the wall as you can. Lovely from Mark. And let's see what he can do then. Into the chicane we go. We saw Brendan Hartley and Lawrence Stroll crash here in 2018. He used a lot of curb on the second part of that chicane. I think you want to avoid that, but he takes it anyway. DRS then for this middle straight here. Use a lot of curb for turn 7 and 8. Nicely done from Mark. It's very easy to invalidate and lose the back end there. I've seen plenty of drivers do that before in the past. 41.1 in the first middle sector on his first flying lap. That's a decent middle sector from Mark as he finally gets back on the throttle after the hairpin. DRS open again for this second straight. So reached in about 200 miles per hour then. Breaking down, you want to take it as fast as you can, and you want to get as close to the wall as you can as well. As Mark then makes his way towards the line, it's going to be a 9.4 for his first flying lap of the session then. So we've got a few more on the lap. Traffic could be an issue here, especially in Q1 because all 20 cars are out. And there's a Red Bull coming across the line next, and that Red Bull is started his flying lap or invalidated it. Haas comes across the line, now the Williams, and that's Andergen going into second place with a 9.9. He's half a second off is Andergen, and he's a reserve driver, so he's filling in for, I don't know who he's filling in for. I think it's Nemo he's filling in for. We've got a few more on there. Let's see where Tim is. Head Bompier is coming out of turn 2. Tim is on the back straight, so let's see what he can do then. Making his way down into the last few corners here, taking it very flat through here. And Tim, what can he do in the Williams? It's going to be a 9.5, and he pops that Williams into second place, 1/10 off away from Mark. We've got our next to cross the line is the Alfa Romeo, and that's Head Bompier's teammate Iso Knight. He's Canadian at his home Grand Prix. He pops himself into third place, a 10 behind Tim, so good lap time for him. We've got an AlphaTauri next to cross the line. Is that Louis Ladd started his lap? Yes it is. And he's invalidated his lap, but it's not this and next lap. If you invalidate on your out lap at the last corners, you will get this and next lap invalidated, which is very crucial because of your tyres or fuel, and it depends how long you filled your car up for as well. So both Aston Martins cross the line. Esteban is in P7, Seagull Gamer is in P8 with 11.1, so that definitely needs improvement on his banker lap. And next to cross the line, I expect a few people to invalidate. His Head Bompier goes into P1, Rudy's in P3 in the Haas. He's currently 1/10 up, so he's going for a second flying lap on the same set of tyres. Remember, this track you can go for a second lap on the same tyres because it can hold the EOS. You have enough battery to go for a second lap, and the tyres don't can hold out that longer as well. So if you mess up on your first lap, you can go for a second run, but Rudy has invalidated anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's only a few hundreds down in that middle sector, so that was promising to find more time. Giants into 5th place in the Red Bull, so decent lap time from him. Duel is in P6 and AJ P7 in the Mercedes. I see a lot of people invalidating around this track, which is very common around here. It's a very difficult track, and Louis Ladd crosses the line to go P13, not a representative lap time. And here's Harvey Leeser. Let's see what this Red Bull driver could do. Jimes replacing Origin Gamma, so Origin Gamma is not here for this race. Jimes filling in his seat, and his teammate, he's backed out of it as Harvey Lees, probably go for another lap. Jeroen Visser making his way around the long right hand in turn 2, and now we're coming into turn 3 and 4. Uses a lot of curb to get as close to the wall as you can. He taps the wall, but it won't be a problem because it won't damage his car. That's a 19.2 for the first sector. When you use the curb here, it's very easy to lose the rear here. You need to be very careful, especially here, because you can lose traction if you don't get it right through turn 6 and turn 7, most difficult part of the track. Turn 8, brake under the bridge. He hesitates slightly coming towards into the corner. You can see he had to make a steering adjustment before he came into that corner. It's a 40.9. That's better than Mark's time. Mark did a 41.1, so I expect him to be P2 or P1. But Hebompier then tops the timing sheets with a 9.3. Hebompier last race was impressive because he came in 3rd place, his first podium of the season, so it looks like he's finding his rhythm again. Is Hebompier. Had a difficult start to the season, did the Dutch driver. Nice exit to the final 2 corners, takes it very quickly, and let's see where Jeroen Visser can place that Williams. It's a 9.0 for Jeroen Visser. That's a very good lap time indeed. He had a lot of practice here, did the Dutch driver. He retired at the Belgian Grand Prix. On the first lap, he lost the car coming out of Le Con, and now he's looking for redemption. He's Jeroen, he's a man on a mission. So here's Nathan. Then Nathan did not have a particularly good race in Belgium. He finished in P17. I don't know if that was due to a DNF or not, but didn't score any points in the last race. So I'm going to look at the championship standings while Q1 is going on, because with our 5th race of the season, Walter goes quickest with a 9.0, only a few hundreds quicker than Jeroen Visser. He's done 2 laps on the same set of soft tyres. There he is. Walter, who finished 1st in the last race, so after 3 P3s, 3 P2s, he finally got 1st place. Because he finished 2nd initially with that 5-second time penalty. He got it removed and he managed to win the race. Nemo then, down in P19. I'm going to go on board with him while I read out the championship standings. So Walter has a 66 point lead over P's. Jeroen Visser in P3 after failing to score points in the last race. Rudy in P4. Hebompier is in P5. Hebompier is doing a fantastic job this season. He finished P3 last race. Tim's in P6. Seville Gamer is in P7. Duel in P8. The real DC, he's doing a fantastic job as well. Both McLarens in P8 and P9. AJ Wuhan not having the season he wants to after finishing in the top 3 last season, but it's his early stages in the season. But yeah, AJ needs to improve his season, because I remember he had a few mistakes in the first early parts. As Nemo crosses the line, he goes up into P3, so that's a good lap time from Nemo. Harvey Lee's in P11, joint points with AJ Wuhan. Mark's in P12. We all had big hope for Mark, because it looks like he was on the pace of the first part of this season, but hasn't seemed that way for the rest of it. Orange and Gamma, who is not here, he's joint points with Mark. Mr. BT in P14, Danny Boy in P15, Nathan's in P15. Nathan and AJ not particularly good season this season so far. Danny Boy's in P16, Nemo in P17, Louis Ladd P18, Knight P19, and Esteban, the only driver not to score any points this season, which is surprising really, because he's been in the top 10 quite recently, but it must have been to like mistakes in the race or something like that. As Walter and Jeroen Visser has retired in the pit lane, knowing they're going to be safe anyway, so they know they don't need to go out there. Nathan pops himself up into P3, so good lap time from Nathan. He needs that lap time. He needs a good race this season. This race, Nathan. Yeah, so Walter won the last race. P's in P2, Het Bompier in P3, Orange and Gamma finished in P4 last race, Duel in P5 to Griff in P6, DC in P7, Danny Boy P8, Harvey in P9. I wasn't here last race, so I didn't have a clue what was going on, but just refreshing myself on what was going on in the last race. Real confidence booster for Het Bompier because he hadn't had the particular good start, the ideal start to the season. Saying that though, he did finish in the top 6 in the Netherlands. It's after round 3 Het Bompier's got better and showed his performance so far, so he did struggle at the first part. Mind you, he did lag out in the first race, I think. Yeah, he did, because he became a backmarker on lap 1. So yeah, he did lag out and he came back in the session, but obviously there was no need to continue because he's already a backmarker and too far behind. Here's Rudy then. Rudy is going back in the pit lane, I presume, because he's running out of fuel. Unless he's going to finish this lap off. Yeah, comes to final 2 corners, carries a lot of speed in there, very close to a validation, but that's the edge of the race, and he goes up into P4. So both Haas's looking promising, especially Rudy, because Rudy's done 3 laps on these set of soft compound tyres. AJ pops himself into P5, so yeah, looking promising for him. He's also done 3 laps on the same set of the soft compound tyres. So we've got Rudy and AJ can find more pace on those. Dubal's in P6. He's just crossed the line to go into the top 6. So yeah, good lap time from him. As the Ferrari has came out of the pit lane. That's Danny Boy. Danny Boy is in P14. Yeah, so he's on a brand new set of soft compound tyres, is Danny Boy. Yeah, that's much better. I can finally hear myself because the non-party audio was louder than the party audio, so yeah, I don't think you hear me shouting anymore. But yeah, Danny Boy, he on a brand new set of softs, he's done 4 laps on the other set of softs, so 9.6, and yeah, it's very close to elimination. So Harvey Lees is coming around the final corner to set a lap time now. Let's see where the driver can go. Oh, it's P16 for Harvey Lees, so he definitely needs to find an improvement. He's done 3 laps on these set of soft compound tyres, so he needs to come into the pits and put on a brand new set of softs and see what he can do. So DC also in danger as well. He's on a brand new set of soft compound tyres, his second set of softs. C4 Gamer is still on the medium compound tyres, so he definitely needs to switch over to these soft compound tyres. His teammate Esteban, he's gone 3/10 quicker. Oh, he spun! And he hits the wall for good measure as well. I'm not quite sure if that will cause any damage. It wasn't a hard tap. Oh, yeah, that was a bigger tap than last time. But C4 Gamer got on the curb, which you don't want to do, and lit up the rear tyres. He was going quicker on his second attempt, but sadly ended up with a spin. It's very common to spin there because it's a difficult corner, that is, difficult part of the track. Very easy to lose traction on the rear of the car, and yeah, he's got 4 minutes and 30 seconds to try and see what he could do. And Louis Ladd down in P10 then, so his middle sector is 1.7 seconds quicker, so not quite sure where that will put him because his best lap time is a 14.6. DRS open now for the 3rd straight. 3 DRS zones around here. And now he comes to the final 2 corners and carrying a lot of speed through here. Want to avoid the wall. And where can Louis Ladd go then? This lap time will put him up into P17, so he's still in danger, is Louis Ladd. ISO Knight on the cusp there of the elimination zone. We'll go on board with him now. It's a 19.2, so he's improved in the first sector by a 10th. And let's see if he can keep that progress going throughout this lap. Second DRS zone. Now coming into turns 7 and 8, carry a lot of speed through these corners. Take a lot of curb as well, using all of the track on the outside. And this middle sector is going to be a 41.0, 2/10 up, so that's a positive from ISO 09. He needs those 2/10 because those 2/10 could put him near his teammate, depending if he can find more lap time in the last sector, because this track, this grid is really close. If you can find like 2/10, you can find yourself going up to 10 positions. Takes it cautious through the last 2 corners, so I dare say he loses his lap time in those final 2 corners, and yeah, puts him up into P10. 2.5 tenths up on his lap time. He could find more lap time if he's confident to pin it through the last 2 corners, because he would have be carrying a lot of speed through those last 2 corners, but I don't think he has the confidence to do that, mind you. I don't have it either. So ISO Knight then in P10. Mark down there P11. He's going for another lap time, making his way around turn 2. Now coming to these fast corners here, carrying a lot of speed, avoiding the wall on the outside. Bring it over to the right. You want to ride this curb here. Very easy to lose the back end. Doesn't lose traction through there. Looks all stable through there as well. So nice and neat and tidy from Mark. And turn 7 and 8, fast corners again. Using all of the track is Mark, and this middle sector is going to be a 41.0 from Mark. So he's improved by 1/10.5. You can see the back end just stepping out there as he tries to rotate the car through the hairpin. He might lose a little bit of lap time, and it might affect him throughout this straight as well. Let's see how these final 2 corners are. We've got 1 minute and 40 seconds left in this session. Very crucial times indeed. DRS wide open, and let's see where this lap time puts him. P3, so he's definitely safe. So looking good for Mark so far. Tim's out there on a lap, and he's 2 tenths up in that middle sector as he opens his DRS for this long back straight. Makes his way towards the final corner then. Carries a lot of speed through there. The second part of it didn't really look... it looks okay, but he could have carried more speed through there. Goes P6, does Tim. Where's the real DC then? DC, there's 1 minute left. If he goes in the pit lane, that is it for him. Has he got enough fuel on board to go for another lap? He's already done 2 laps on these tyres. Has he got enough grip to go for another lap? Nope, that's him out. That's him out because Danny Boy, Harvey Lees has just pushed him out. And DC is out of Q1 then, so... Danny Boy is out as well. Foul Fury in the Ferrari is under a bit of pressure because we've got Andergen, we've got Louis Ladd, and we've got Steban. Steban is 3 tenths down in that middle sector. And is he going to go for another lap? He's got 30 seconds left in the session. He's going to make it towards the line, but let's have, how many laps has he done on these tyres? 1 lap, I think he's done on these tyres. So we can go for another. If we go for another one, I think he's going to go for another one as well. Where's Danny Boy? He's out of Q1. DC's out of Q1. Andergen has improved slightly for the first sector. Needs to find more time. Let's see what he can do there. Coming through turn 7 and turn 8. Looks nice and tidy there. He carried the speed and the momentum towards it as well. And he's 3 tenths up. So this lap time could put him into Q2 and put Foul Fury into the drop zone. Where's Louis Ladd? Louis Ladd apparently he's done 5. He's on a brand new set of tyres, but I say because it said 5 laps on those tyres. So we'll go on board with Andergen first as he's closer towards the line. As he makes his way towards the final 2 corners. Oh, he's lost a lot of time through there. All his hard work on that lap has just been thrown away. But he goes into P16, it's out of qualifying. Here comes Louis Ladd. He puts himself into P13. It's a 9.3, but Andergen, he went wide to the first part of that fast left, right and left corner, and that compromised his line towards the last corner. So Andergen lost all that time in the last 2 corners. All his hard work has just been undone through the tricky part of the lap. So that's sad for him. He could have got himself into Q2, but sadly he's knocked out and he's in P17. So Steban, who did not get a representative lap time in, it's a 10.4 for him. DC has been knocked out of Q1 as well. That's a shame for him because he finished in 7th place last race and now he's knocked out. Danny Boy has been knocked out, Andergen's knocked out, and Foul Fury has been knocked out. And Harvey Lee's just on the cusp of being knocked out but makes it through to Q2. So the fastest driver is Walter with a 9.0, just a few hundreds quicker than Jeruvas and Mark in P3. And look at that, look at the gap between P1 and P3. Just under half a tenth. C4 Gamer in the Aston Martin, better lap time than his teammate in P4. Both Hassers looking strong in P5 and P6. Tim in P7, AJ in P8 ahead of Duel who makes it in the top 10. Jaime in the Rebel in P10, Inemo in P11, Het Bompje in P12. Louis Ladd in P13, the Canadian of Iso Knight in P14, Harvey Lees in P15. And look at the gap between 1st and 19th, only half a second. That's not bad at all. I won't call anyone slow because from P1 to P19, it's so close, half a second. It's unbelievable how close this grid is. Look at that, P1 to P14, 3 tenths, P1 to P10, 2 tenths. That's not bad at all. If you find like 1.5 tenths, you could find yourself going up quite a few positions. So it's not bad at all, as long as you're not like 1 second away. But sadly for Esteban, who didn't hook up a lap together, he is in the 10.4s, so he has to see what he can do in the race. Q2 then, so this qualifying session determines what tyres will start on during the race. If you make it through to the top 10 in Q2, whatever you set your fastest lap time, that's the tyre you're going to start on, and I think it's going to be soft tyres. Soft, medium, I think the strategy is around here, and AJ has left the session, so hopefully he joins back. Championship's looking good for Walter, 66 points ahead of his championship rival Pease, and Pease is not here for tonight. I just noticed that, so that's the driver replacing Pease, Nemo, in P13, so yeah, Pease is going to lose out on quite a few points here. He's second in the championship. He won in the Netherlands, managed to hold off Walter throughout the whole race, overtook Harvey Lees on the first lap, and defended for the rest of the race against Walter to come home in first place. Then Walter finished in P1. Total Pease did finish first initially, but Walter got his 5-second time penalty removed, and he took P1 to end his run of 3 consecutive P2s. One thing about Walter this season, his consistency, and that's why he's leading the championship. Got a huge lead as well, so things are looking good for Walter. He's got the pace here in Canada tonight. Jeroen Visser hoping to close that gap after a disappointing race in Belgium. He crashed on the first lap. Can Jeroen Visser close in on the championship lead? Is currently, if I go on the championship standings, where is it? He's currently in P3 in the championship standings, so he won a race this season. Then after Belgium it just went downhill for him, but hopefully he can find his rhythm again. He'll come back stronger, all drivers do. Rudy's not too far away either in the championship standings. After a disappointing race in France, he did win the first race this season after going on a aggressive strategy towards the end of the race. Didn't get any penalties and managed to win. So here we are then on board the Williams driver. Is this Jeroen Visser? I think it's Tim due to that helmet design. Yeah, it's Tim on the medium compound tyres, interestingly. So we've got a couple of drivers on the mediums and a few drivers on the softs. Walter goes quickest with a 1.9.2. That's slower than his Q1 time, and that his teammate gets out of the way. So that's Louis Ladd. It's a 19.4 in the first sector for Tim. Navigates his way around turn 6 and turn 7, the most tricky part of the track. It's very easy to lose the rear end there. And that is Harvey Lees. Tim wouldn't have liked that whatsoever, but it doesn't affect him at all. Gained a bit of a slipstream did Tim, so I don't think he'll be bothered with that one. And it's a 41.3, decent middle sector from Tim, despite being on these medium compound tyres. Rotates his car nicely, short shifted to get the traction. Back on the throttle we go, onto this long straight, DRS open. Jan goes into P2 with a 9.4, 2 tenths away from Walter. Here comes Tim towards the final 2 corners. And let's see where he can place his car. It's third place with a 9.7. As Sevo Gamer goes into third place with a 9.5 in the Aston Martin. Mark's retired. That's the last corner. Mark has crashed in the last corner. We're going board with Iso Knight. We can't because he's going in the pits. Where's the Haas driver of Rudy? There he is. He's crashed at the final corner. and he is going to be one frustrated guy. And Rudy goes into P5 with a 9.8. That's not a good lap time for Rudy. He needs to improve that. But Mark will start at P15. That's a massive shame for Mark. Bottled it at the last corner at the Wall of Champions. I wonder who was going to be the first driver to crash at the Wall of Champions. There's your answer. It is Mark. And Dew will cross the line to go into P4. But that's a massive shame from Mark. Here comes Head Bumpy then through turn 6 and turn 7 and then turn 8. He takes it really fast through there, using all of the curb as you need to. A 41.3, not really, it's not a decent middle sector from Head Bumpy, so he needs to improve slightly on that time, because Tim set that last sector, middle sector, with a 41.3. DRS open for the Alfa Romeo driver. Coming towards the final two corners. I think he locked up slightly, I'm not quite sure, but that did look promising final two corners, so he might have lost a bit of time through there and goes into P6 with a 9.8, so that definitely needs improving as Rudy pops his Haas into P2. Look at that, look at the gap between Rudy and Walter, only 9,000 separates those two. This track is very difficult. Here comes Dream Visitor making his way through turn 7 and turn 8, went a bit wide through turn 8 there. And his middle sector is a 40.9. Goes into the hairpin, locks up slightly, but that won't affect him too much. Short shifted to get traction. Back on the throttle we go. You want to use all of the track. You want to take it as fast as you can without having to hit the wall. You need confidence, commitment, and bravery, especially through these final two corners. You need to use all of the curb through here. And all of the track as well to avoid that wall. That's what makes you the best driver, if you use all of the track without hitting the wall or invalidating it. And 8.9 goes to Jeroen Visser. That's a very good lap time from him. Whereas Nemo in the Alpine, he's invalidated his lap. Quite a few invalidations around here. Louis Ladd is in P9, so let's see who's on a lap time then. Dewell is in P5. I think he'll go into the pit lane because I don't think he has enough fuel to go for another run, so currently looking good in P5 is Dewell. As he heads off into the pit lane then, so Jeroen Visser has the fastest time of an 8.9. He's 3 tenths quicker than Walter, so he's comfortably at the top so far. Mind you, it's Q2, so I don't think Walter's taking big risks around here. Just want to take it as fast and as cautious as you can. Jimes in P4. Interestingly, he's gone on the medium compound tyres despite setting his best lap on the soft compound tyres, so does Jime think he has more pace on these mediums than the softs? It'd be very interested if he could go quicker on this tyre. We'll go on board with ISO 9 because he's cutting a lap time on the medium compound tyre, making his way towards the fast two corners. That tyre is still there as Knight makes his way across the line and goes into P8. Decent lap time from Knight, but I dare say he has to go on the soft compound tyres to ensure his safety into Q3. Right, where is Jime? There he is in P4 then. Let's see if he can improve on these medium tyres. If he can improve on these mediums, then that'll be very interesting. Let's see his first sector. He's 1 tenth down in the first sector alone. You can see the rear end just stepping out just a bit as he applies the throttle. He makes his way towards turn 7 and turn 8. Use a lot of curve through here and there. You can see the back end stepping out as they applies the throttle. A lot of oversteer on this lap for Jime. And he's 1,000s quicker. That's very interesting. If you're 1,000s quicker. Jime's got a lot of pace on these medium tyres, it seems like. He's made a few errors as well on this lap, so if he can find the perfect lap on these mediums, he could make his way into Q3 on the medium compound tyres, interestingly. That's his teammate ahead of him. Hopefully his teammate gets out he's started a lap time as his teammate as Jime goes into the pit lane. ISO 9 has just popped himself into P4. That's a fantastic lap from Knight. He beats Jime by 3,000, so that's a very good lap time from him. The Canadian driver is home Grand Prix, looking promising. But if other drivers are going to go on the soft compound tyre, then I dare say yes to as well. Harvey Lee's then on the soft compound tyres. His last race in CRL. And that's the Alfa Romeo giving him a slipstream. Making his way through turn 7 and turn 8. Oh! Yeah. He's lagging a bit, so I can't tell what happened if he just lost it at turn 7 or turn 8. Maybe we've got the curve and just lost the rear end. But Harvey Lee's then, has he got any front wing damage? Yes, he has. So he has to go into the pit lane then. Luckily, he's got enough time, but he is lagging a bit, so I can't tell if he'd lost the car or not. AJ's out there. He has to set a lap time. He lagged out the session, but he's back in, and let's see what he can do then. He's currently through turn 3 and 4. .6 in the first sector, using a lot of curb in turn 6 and turn 7. Now he makes his way towards turn 7 and turn 8. Taking a lot of curb. Nathan's joined as well, so I didn't realise he lagged out. Let's see what his middle sector's like. It's a 41.5, and I don't think that's decent enough to... Bumpy has gone quickest with an 8.9, but that middle sector from AJ, I'm not quite sure if that's good enough to get inside the top 10. Maybe it is, but I dare say it would be like P8 or P9 or something like that. Let's see then, it's made his way towards the final 2 corners, and he heads straight off into the pit, so he knows it's not a good lap time, and he has to go on the soft compound tyres. Nathan, his brother, hasn't set a lap time either. He's got 3 minutes and 50 seconds left, and I think that's him just came out of pit lane at the end of the garage. Is it him? No, it's Williams. It's probably Tim, I think. Yep, it's Tim. Did he set his best lap time on the mediums? Let's have a look. Yes, he did. So he's on the soft compound tyres now. And here's Louis Ladd into turn 1 into turn 2. He also... No, he didn't. His best lap time was on the soft compound tyres then. So Louis Ladd makes his way towards turn 3 and turn 4. Used a lot of steering input through those corners there. Really fast entry. And he's 2 tenths up already. So that's a good sign from Louis Ladd. He didn't really hook up that apex as he would have wanted, because he wanted to use all of the curb through there. Using a different line to see what other people have done so far in this session. And this middle sector is a 41.0, 5 tenths up on his personal best. So this lap time should put him up to 4th place, if not 3rd. Depends if he finds more time in that last sector. It's looking promising from Louis Ladd so far. Rudy's Walters out there. We've got both Mercedes out there. We've got a Red Bull, we've got an Aston Martin or C-Roll Gamer out there. Louis Ladd, DRS wide open then for this last part. And he goes up into P3. It's an 8.9. That's a very good lap time from Louis Ladd. Walter's out there. He's invalidated his lap time, has Walter. So he's got one more chance, but I think he's safe anyways. We'll go on board with Tim because he was also on an out lap behind Louis Ladd. DRS open for Tim. I didn't see his first sector, so I don't know if he improved or not. Coming under the bridge, they brake under the bridge. Use a lot of curve through here. The back end didn't step out. And it's a 40.8. That's a decent middle sector from Tim. 5 tenths up in that middle sector, so he could set a 9.2 with Walter. If he can find more time, he can get ahead of Walter. And Walter crosses the line to start another flying lap on the same set of the soft compound tyres. And he makes his way towards the last 2 corners. I think he made a mistake in that final corner. I'm not quite sure because I was off board with him. And he goes into P4, so it's a 9.1 from Tim. Walter's almost 2 tenths up in the first sector, so he's improving a lot on this lap already. I want to focus on the guys. Harvey Lees is in P10. He's just crossed the line to go to P10, so he's in a bit of danger because C-Roll Gamer is improving. His middle sector 2 tenths up, so yeah, I dare say Harvey Lees is in a bit of danger. Harvey Lees just been pushed out by a hash driver of Nathan. Nathan's in P7, so Duwall's in a bit of danger, but Duwall is on his out lap. 50 seconds left to go in this session, so this is crucial times. As Sevo Gamer then makes his way towards the final 2 corners. Let's see how he takes it. Using a lot of curb, doesn't invalidate, doesn't hit the wall, and he makes his short way towards the line. He goes up into P4 to see as Walter goes quickest with a 8.7. That's a banging lap time from Walter. Jaime goes up into P7 in the Red Bull. ISO Knight's been knocked out. Nathan's on his 2nd lap time. Dual is out on qualifying. That's it for Dual. Harvey Lee's, that's him out as well. Nemo, what about him? So, Knight's on a flying lap. Dual's been knocked out. Harvey Lee's been knocked out. What about Nemo? Has he got enough lap time to get himself into the top 10? Makes his way through the final 2 corners. He hits the wall, and that's him out on qualifying. If he didn't hit the wall, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because he did invalidate. There's a Haas driver going through. That's Rudy. Can Rudy improve? That's his teammate Nathan. Nathan's up into P8. He's just finished his 2nd flying lap on the same set of softs. His teammate, though, is coming towards the final 2 corners. He's safe anyway, unless Knight can do something about it. And Knight's on a flying lap. Rudy comes towards the line. He goes P2, just 2 tenths behind Walter. And here comes Knight. He's 1 tenth down in the middle sector. Knight, yeah, I don't think he can improve Knight. He has to make up 3 tenths, and he's 1 tenth down in the middle sector, so he has to find 4 tenths in that last sector. Does Knight, but that's an optimal position you want to be starting if you're not outside the top 10. He's going to finish his lap time. Can he get himself in the top 10? No, he can't. It doesn't. Yes, he improved slightly, so he found time in that last sector, but he starts P11. That's the place you want to be starting if you start outside the top 10 anyway. So Knight's in a good position, and he'll start on the medium compound tyres there for tomorrow's race. The strategy will be medium hards for him, unless the safety cars come out. So the drivers eliminated in Q2 is Knight, Dual, Harvey Lees and Mark. Quickest is Walter by 2 tenths. I'll take a short break until Q3 starts. A quick word for Louis Lad, P5. Very good time for him. Majority of the top 10 are Dutch drivers as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dutch drivers in Q3. Here we are then, Q3, top 10 drivers. Who is going to take pole position for the Canadian GP? My predictions is either Walter, Rudy or Giroux. Het Bompier could bring in a surprise. He seems to have decent pace lately. C4 Gamer as well. I didn't think he'd make it to Q3 judging by his Q1 and Q time ties, but he's made it. What could AJ and Nathan do? They could bring in a few surprises. Both Williams, both Haas's, both Mercedes, 1 Aston Martin, 1 Alfa Romeo and 1 Red Bull to even out the odds. So they all behaved themselves in Q1 and Q2 because I didn't see anybody holding each other up. Usually traffic is an issue around here in Canada, being a short track, but they all managed to space themselves out. Didn't get anybody's way unless I didn't see, but it's looking all good so far. So both Mercedes line astern then, as we've got a driver come out of the pit lane. Hopefully he won't interfere with the Mercedes lap time. We've got on board with Walter first, as he's the first one out of the track. So he makes his way into the Sebastian Vettel chicane. Uses all of the curb on the entry for both corners. Didn't get as close to the wall as I would have thought. His first lap time is a 19.1. You want to use all the curb on the left. Just kiss the apex to the right. Nice exit. The rear end didn't go away from him. Brake under the bridge. Used a lot of curve for both corners here. Oh, he's invalidated. I think he had a slight hesitation coming towards turn 8. So what he could do is give his teammate a slipstream. His teammate's right behind him, so go on board with AJ. Might give his teammate a slipstream if he works well with him. Yes, he does. So doing his teammate a massive favour. DRS open then, he'll get a good toe down this straight. Needs to get out of the way early so he don't distract AJ's braking point. Comes to the final 2 corners. Didn't carry a lot of speed, did AJ. And his lap time will be a 9.0. So that's the target to beat. Hash driver next across the line, is that Nathan? It's his teammate. Started a flying lap. As Nathan makes his way towards the line, it's a 9.1 from Nathan. The AlphaTauri is next across the line to start his flying lap. The Alfa Romeo head bump here next across the line. Where can he go? It's going to be P1. It's an 8.9 from head bump here. And Giroud Vizor next across the line is going to be P6 because he, I think he invalidated or something like that. C4 Gamer is P4. And somebody's just spun coming out of turn 2. Or is he slowing down? Yeah, he spun. That's Nathan in the wall. Nathan's just finished his flying lap time. He's out of qualifying, apparently. I think he lost a wheel. I didn't see the full picture, but I think he's lost a wheel. Has Nathan? Yes, he has. He's out of qualifying. So Nathan then has crashed in turn 2 where Valtteri Bottas spun in 2019. Head Bompiers going for a second flying lap on these soft compound tyres. Can he improve in the middle sector? It's a 40.8. A few hundreds down in the middle sector. He's got a car ahead of him. Hopefully don't hold him up. That's an AlphaTauri of Lewinlad. Lewinlad is on a lap time as well, so go ball with him. Head Bomb here will have a distant toe towards Lewinlad. Rudy's gone quickest with an 8.9. Good lap time from him. Walter is on an out lap, so he's got back in the pit lane as Lewinlad messes up the final corner. Hits the wall slightly, so he'll lose a bit of time. Lewinlad will cross the line, go into P5. Where's Head Bomb here going to go? He doesn't improve, does Head Bomb here. But yeah, shame for Nathan. He crashed in turn 2 and lost his wheel. That's the first driver I've seen crash through turn 2 in a long time. So Tim is in the pits with Giroud Vizor. I presume both Williams have validated it because Giroud Vizor did cross the line. He set a 24.9, but obviously he validated it and he's back in the pit lane. Walter is on his out lap and James on his out lap. So 4 drivers did not set a lap time, and this is where the pressure starts soaking in. Q1 and Q2 is easy for these drivers, but Q3 is really difficult because that's when you have to put your maximum performance in, and your maximum performance has to be perfect, and it's quite difficult around this track to be perfect as well because it's very easy as Rudy goes quicker with an 8.6. That's 3/10 quicker than Head Bompier. Head Bompier's out of the track still. I presume he'll go into the pit lane. And yes, he will go to the pit lane. So Head Bompier looking promising up there. We'll go back to Walter to see what he does. It's a 19.1. He sets the exact same first sector that he did in his first previous attempt. Now he needs to rectify his mistake because this is where he validated it coming under the bridge to turn 7 and turn 8. Yeah, much better this time from Walter. His middle sector is going to be a 40.6 then as he makes his way into the hairpin, locks up slightly. You can see a bit of wheel spin coming out of the hairpin as well. Might affect him down the straight slightly though. DRS wide open for this back straight. Let's see how he takes these final 2 corners. Is he going to get it spot on? Is he going to make a slight mistake? He doesn't invalidate and he doesn't hit the wall, so that's perfect for Walter. Where can he go? Is this going to be pole? Yes it is. It's pole by 200ths quicker than Rudy. So Walter then up into pole position. Where's his teammate AJ? AJ is in 4th place. I think he started his flying lap. AJ, where's Louis Lad? Louis Lad slightly improved in the middle sector. This is when he got it all wrong, and he's going to head straight into the pit lane. Where's Jime then? 40.7 in the middle sector. I think that's a decent middle sector, as I'm losing my words. And that's the Mercedes who's just spun. No, he's slowing down. I think he spun because that's the odd place to spin there. Walter, did he get any damage on the front wing? No, he didn't. We'll go back on board with the Red Bull as Giroud is out of the pit lane. Jime makes his way through the final corners, and let's see where he can go. Jime is going to put his car into P4 with an 8.9. We'll just wait for Giroud. He's out there somewhere on track. He's a 10th down in the first sector in comparison to Walter, as he makes his way now into turn 7 and turn 8. Takes a lot of speed and uses all of the curb, which you want to do and maximise on the potential around this track. A 48.8 in the middle sector. We've seen Jime do a 40.7, so he's a 10th down on Jime in terms of that middle sector in comparison to him. Let's see what he can do then as he makes his way towards the final 2 corners. Giroud then, a bit of oversteer on the exit of that final corner, might cost him a bit of time. Where can he go? It is P3 with an 8.8, 1/10 quicker than Het Bompier and 1/10 quicker than Jime. So he's on the second row with his Dutch compatriot Het Bompier in P4. Jime is going to come into the pit lane. So Tim then, the only driver that's not set a lap time so far, so I wonder what's happened to him unless he's made a few mistakes. But Q3, you want to get it all spot on. Q1 and Q2, there's no excuse now because your practice sessions, all the practice, all the hard work they put in Q1 and Q2, these final moments in Q3, this is where the practice, this is where the pressure soaks in. Confirmation that it will stay dry for the whole race, says Het Bompier. Thank you, mate. Two minutes and 50 seconds to go. Driver's last chance to get everything spot on. Who's the first man out of the track? It is AJ. AJ got a good tow from his teammate Het Bompier. Walter, sorry. So AJ then down in P6 with a 9.0. Let's see where he can put his car in the final, as he makes his way to the final 2 corners then. That's an odd line. I've not really seen people do that, but it's a take out his more speed into turn 1, I guess. Now he took the curb into turn 2, and that's not really what you want to do. You want to kiss the curb and not take it like that. As he makes his way now into turn 3 and turn 4. He backs out. He knows he didn't max out the potential because you want to carry a lot of speed into turn 3 and turn 4. You want to use all of the curb into turn 3, which he did do. He used all of it into turn 4, but he knows he didn't use all of the potential he could have done. Backs off early in the lap, so tyre wear won't be an issue, or his ERS won't be either. So he's got a full tank of ERS yet to use. Jime then has a wheel spin coming out of turn 2, makes his way into turn 3 and now turn 4. Here we are into turn 6 and turn 7, improves slightly in the first sector. Or you can see the rear sticking in there. Now coming into turn 7 and turn 8. Nice front, that's a really good, carried a lot of speed in there. It's a 40.5. That's a really decent middle sector as Rudy goes on to pole with an 8.5, 1/10 quicker than Walter. But Jaime, keeping an eye on Jaime because he set a really good middle sector, a 40.5. That's the best middle sector I've seen anyone do in this session so far. So keep an eye on Jaime. He's on the back straight now as he makes his way. He needs to get these final 2 corners absolutely spot on, no mistakes at all, which he does do. DRS wide open then. Can he get on pole position? It's going to be an 8.6. He goes into P2. 1/10 slower than Rudy. But where is Walter? Walter is in P3. His teammates just spun coming out of turn 8. He's a few hundreds down in that middle sector. Almost a 10th down is Walter. So he needs to find this time in the middle sector if he wants to get on pole position. His teammates spun. It could put him off just a bit. Luckily he's ghosted, otherwise it would have hit him. But can Walter snatch back pole position? What about Giroud? What's he going to do? He's 1/10 up in the middle sector. We'll go on board with Walter to see what he can do. He hits the wall and he's invalidated it. Walter will start in P3 unless anybody can take P3 away from him, which could be a Giroud. Nice decent exit coming out the hairpin from Giroud. DRS open now. I didn't see his middle sector, so I don't know if he improved or not, but could he knock Walter off the second row? Makes his way towards the final 2 corners. Did he get his spot on? He gets as close to the wall as he could. Doesn't hit it though. Makes his way towards the line. Is it pole? Yes it is. It's pole position by 108.4 by almost a 10th. That is a fantastic lap. He puts Walter into P4. Giroud has taken pole position. He didn't really show the pace in Q1 and Q2. Now he's showing the pace at the very last moments. Must be sandbagging, but Giroud snaps pole position away at the most crucial point of the session. Out of all the people, I thought it was going to be a battle between Rudy and Walter, but a standout performance is Jaime down in P3. I can't even speak. I'm really sorry about my commentary. Giroud P1 then ahead of Rudy as Nathan's left the session. 1800s quicker. Jaime in P3. Walter's in P4. Only 3,000 separates those two. It's a Dutch one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Louis led in P6. AJ P7. Nathan P8. C-Raw Gamer and Tim. I'm not quite sure what happened to Tim, but he'll be started down in P10. Sadly for him. Yeah, but Giroud snatched pole position away. People are leaving the session, I'm not quite sure why. Nathan's left again, that's his 2nd time leaving, so I'm not quite sure if we're going to have a lobby restart because quite a few people are leaving. Yes, Esteban's left, so is it going to be a restarted session? Lobby updated. I'm not quite sure that what means because you can't update the lobby in the game. Right, cheers Head Bob here for the confirmation of the lobby restart. It's a shame really when we're coming into the race and already we're having problems. I will leave the session then because if there's not enough drivers, they'll kick me out of the lobby anyway. Canadian GP, just to reiterate, oh, I can't even speak. Just to recite some facts. This is where Daniel Ricciardo took his first ever win in his career, and for Red Bull, Red Bull's first win of the season in 2014 after Mercedes dominating. 2008, where Robert Kubica's got his first win in his career, his one and only win actually. But I thought he had more wins than that, but turns out that was his only win in Canada. Remember the year before he had that massive crash? I think, did he hit? If I can remember correctly, did he hit the back of anybody? I'm not quite sure. I think he did, because there's no way that crash could happen like that. But Robert Kubica missed the next race after Sebastian Vettel replaced him in the BMW, and Sebastian Vettel's debut he scored points actually, despite getting a drive-through penalty. Apologies about my performance and commentary, I'm not sure what I can't even speak properly. Apologies about my performance in commentary, hopefully it's better for next week. Interestingly, the lap record around Canada is a 13.0, which is set by Valtteri Bottas in 2019. Hello Viper, how's it going mate? So yeah, they missed I'll get some quick facts for you while we're waiting for invites for the session. If I can find any facts, that's for sure. Yeah, so the longest race ever recorded in history was the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix. It was won in dramatic style by Jenson Button, who had a few penalties, crashed with his teammate Lewis Hamilton, took out Fernando Alonso, and yet still managed to win the race because Sebastian Vettel lost it in turn 7 on the final lap. Then Jenson Button fought back to take the win. I remember that 2011 race. It took forever to get that race going. Yeah, it did go ahead, didn't it? It was dreadful rain, but it got dry eventually, and yeah, we managed to get a race. The Belgian Grand Prix this year was an absolute shocker. They knew that we're not going to have a race in Belgium, but they only did it for classification. They got everybody's hopes up for a Belgian Grand Prix, but they knew that it wasn't going to go ahead. Yeah, so I've got some facts for you. The most wins here in Canada is 7 by Michael Schumacher, and most wins for constructor is Ferrari. Yeah, mate. I feel, you know, for the fans like Belgium, respect, absolute respect, because they were stood in the rain. They were muddy, they were cold, they were drenched. I feel so sorry for the Belgian Grand Prix, the Belgian people, or whoever was there, because they were absolutely drenched. I remember my dad spoke to me in night. My dad spoke to me about. Oh, I can't even speak. I am so sorry. I mean, let me go sort myself out. It is not letting me join the session. Somebody else might have to give me an invite if you're watching. Let me restart my game. That means I have to restart the stream.